So here is another interesting question, a mathematics problem solving question, and I would like to share that with you. So I have root 3 plus root 2 to the power x plus root 3 minus root 2 to the power x equal to 10. Excuse me. So in order to solve this, whenever you see a question about surds or something, one thing which should immediately come to your mind is rationalization. Well, this is, you don't need to learn this. Mathematics is not about rote learning, but it often comes in very handy. But you may ask yourselves that you don't need to rationalize because everything here is already rationalized. There's nothing irrational in the denominator. The denominator is just 1 in both of these numbers, in all three of these numbers. So, but it turns out that if we rationalize one of these, we'll actually get a quadratic equation, and let's see how. We just try to irrationalize, should I say. Let's just do the opposite of rationalization. So let's just multiply it. Excuse me. So I did nothing new. I just multiplied by root 3 plus root 2 x and divided by the same number so that I don't change the value. And the reason why I did this was not to just try irrationalization, which is quite a funny, but also to get root 3 plus root 2x two times. Like, I don't want this. I want to convert this to root 3 plus root 2x, root 2 to the x, and I know how to do that by irrationalization, by multiplying it by root 3 plus root 2 to the power x. Now, this is just a word which I invented because this is the opposite of rationalization, so don't penalize me if it doesn't exist. So root 3 plus root 2 to the x, and this simplifies to root 3 minus root 2 into root 3 plus root 2, which is root 3 minus root 2 to root 3 plus root 2 whole to the x upon root 3 plus root 2 to the x. And this is just a plus b into a minus b, and the identity was this. You can just, it's not even an identity, you can just minimize, memorize it. You don't need to memorize it, what I was saying. You can just expand it, and the ab's cancel out. So a square minus ab plus ab, which cancels out, minus b square. So a square minus b square. In this case, a is root 3 and b is root 2. So this simplifies to root 3 plus root 2 to the x plus, this simplifies to 1 to the x upon root 3 plus root 2 to the x, and this becomes root 3 plus root 2 to the x plus 1 over root 3 plus root 2 to the x. Now this equation which was equal to 10, notice that I did irrationalization, as I said before, to get root 3 plus root 2x as the common term. Now I can just substitute it. I can say that, okay, let's say root 3 plus root 2 to the x is another variable, let's say phi, and you can name it anything. If phi seems too complicated, just say y or u or something like that, but I like to use phi because it's cool to draw and it looks quite good. Anyways, I'm going to erase the above stuff, so make sure that you've understood all of it. You can just rewind and watch it again, by the way. YouTube is good. Anyways, so next we are actually going to solve this quadratic equation. We actually get phi plus 1 over phi is going to be equal to 10. So this is phi, and this is actually 1 over phi. So now we actually simplify it to get phi square plus 1 is equal to 10 phi, and we get phi square minus 10 phi plus 1 is going to be equal to 0. We'll solve this using the quadratic formula because completing the square will take time, and you cannot find the factors as it will be irrational by seeing the discriminant. So phi will be equal to 10 minus b plus minus the square root of b square minus 4ac. B square minus 4ac will be 100 minus 4 4, which is 96 over 2, and this will be simplified to 5 plus minus square root of 96, which will be simplified uh, to 5 plus minus square root of 24, because square root of 96 is 2 root 24, and dividing that by 2 will leave you with root 24. Therefore, phi 1 will be 5 plus root 24, and phi 2 will be 5 minus, excuse me for my handwriting, minus root 24. So that's done. We found the two values of phi. Now remember that phi was actually root 3 plus root 2 to the power x, and we needed to find values of x in this equation because it's an equation in x. So by inspection we could actually solve it using logarithms, but we can just see by looking at it that root 3 plus root 2 square is 5 plus root 24, and root 3 plus root 2 to the power minus 2 is 5 minus root 24. So x is equal to 2 and x is equal to minus 2. I guess that I have done it correctly. Let me just recheck. So I got these two values for phi, and phi was this. So root 3 plus root 2 squared would give me 3 plus 2, which is 5 plus root 24. That is correct. So x will definitely be 2. And for this one, if x is negative 2, I'll get 3. So x is negative 2, so I'll get 1 over this thing, 5 plus root 24. And if I try to rationalize it, I will get I actually, let's try to rationalize it. So no, I do not get the same answer. So in this case, the answer is that x is equal to 2. So we finally solved it, and the answer was x equal to 2. So this is another problem solving strategy, and I hope you guys learned that whenever you see surge or something, just try to rationalize or irrationalize, as I said before. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.